drastically altered the landscape of world travel since the pandemic hit in early 2020. Since that time, many countries have imposed stricter regulations or have closed borders in order to contain COVID.
Outside of that, many people have chosen to stay home rather than taking a vacation in order to protect themselves and their loved ones from getting sick. However, hope is on the horizon as news of new vaccines are being steadily approved by health agencies around the world.
With the hope that these vaccines bring with them, people are starting to daydream again about what 2020 will look like. So, will next year be normal?
Well, on the Bill Gates and Rashida Jones Ask the Big Questions podcast, Bill Gates and Dr. Anthony Fauci, the head of the CDC here in the United States, speculated that the return to normalcy will be a gradual process, and many moderate public health measures like wearing a mask in public areas will most likely be around for much of 2021 until the vaccine can be widely distributed around the world. So until that time, many places around the world, many countries, will most likely have some sort of public health measures in place to stop the spread of COVID-19. And because of that, it's really important to do your research ahead of time before you travel somewhere.
But since many people, us included, are getting super antsy and are excited to travel again soon, we've decided to do some research on what travel will look like during 2021. So without further ado, here are our top 5 tips on how to travel in 2021.
Tip number 1, do research on the health regulations in your destination way ahead of time. The days of simply flashing your passport to enter a country are most likely gone for a little bit. Even after a vaccine is widely available, many countries and states will most likely require some sort of medical documentation in order to prove that you don't have COVID.
For example, our state of Massachusetts is requiring that travelers submit proof of a negative COVID test that was taken within 72 hours before boarding the plane. If you can't provide a negative test result, the state requires that you quarantine for 14 days once you arrive or until you can produce a negative COVID test.
Moral of the story, plan way ahead in order to get your vaccine documentation and or a negative COVID test result in order for you to enter into another country.
Many countries may also require you to have travel insurance to enter that country just in case you get sick while you're traveling in that country. For example, the Bahamas are actually requiring all travelers to have travel insurance before entering the country. However, they are making it easy for travelers because they are including insurance in their travel health visa that they are offering for around $50 to make it easy for anyone wanting to travel to that country. Health regulations will continue to be updated all across the world all the time next year, so make sure to keep an eye on the news just to make sure you're up to date before you travel.
Tip number 2, look for flexibility and great deals. So 2020 was a nightmare for many travelers as their trips and vacations were canceled and refunds were not really available for everybody, us included. However, the travel industry now knows that people are hesitant to book future trips because they're concerned that it might get canceled due to the pandemic.
To answer this, many hotels and cruises during Black Friday this year offered crazy low rates and free cancellation to ease any worries that any travelers had when booking this year.
Pretty cool.
And most likely, that's not going to be the last time we see deals like that. So keep a lookout so you can snag something up as you head into 2021 to get a really good rate and that flexibility that everyone's looking for with this pandemic. To really make sure you're avoiding risk, make sure you book a trip in summer 2021 or later when the vaccine's going to be way more available, and that way you most likely won't have anything canceled.
Consider signing up for email lists on major travel sites such as Expedia.com and Hotels.com in order to stay in the loop on when the next big travel sales are happening.
Tip number 3, when deciding where to travel in 2021, consider places off the beaten path. When China lowered their COVID-19 restrictions temporarily back in April, they saw an explosion of tourism at their major tourist sites. Now consider, if that happened in China, what is it going to look like when travel restrictions be lifted all around the world at many other popular places? Places like the Eiffel Tower, Machu Picchu, Times Square are all going to be packed. And that's why it might be a good idea to consider going to places a little bit more off the beaten path that you might not regularly consider.
Even if you do decide to go and visit some of the world's popular destinations, there are new ways for you to avoid large crowds and still have a really great time. Sherpa Choose now offers this ability where you can have self-guided tours All you have to do is hold your phone up in front of a major world site or location, and a little avatar will pop up and start explaining to you what is special about that site. It's a pretty cool new technique that they've developed.
Augmented reality.
Woo!
Tip number 4. You really looking for an adventure in 2021? Consider working remotely in another country. With many companies now being used to fully remote work because of COVID-19, many one-time office workers now have the flexibility of working anywhere that has good Wi-Fi and an outlet. So maybe instead of working in your home or your apartment in 2021, maybe it's in a beach house in the Caribbean.
Woohoo! Sounds good to me.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Big summer blowout.
Many countries who rely on revenue from tourism are creating an incentive for people to come and work remotely in their countries in order to help jumpstart their economy. For example, Barbados offers a 12-month long visa in order to encourage people to come and work and live there. Other countries that are also doing something similar to this include Estonia, Georgia, and
Bermuda.
Thank you.
Tip number 5. Even if you can't or just decide not to travel next year for some reason, consider virtual travel as an alternative. Many companies have begun offering some really unique experiences from around the world for you to enjoy from the comfort of your own home.
For example, Airbnb offers some really fun virtual experiences. It includes things like cooking with grandma in Italy or singing with a
making Mexican tacos.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
one. Okay.
with a pro chef in Mexico City.
Okay, there's the one I was gonna say was singing with a Broadway star, music tunes. I'm all
Yes.
about that. And then I think there's like a Harry Potter.
In Edinburgh. Harry
Yes.
Potter tour in Edinburgh.
Exactly.
So many fun choices.
I know, it's so fun, and it's really cool because Amazon is also offering something just like that. They've just recently launched it where you can have these virtual experiences as well, but it also includes the ability to buy things from local vendors in different countries. So, for example, you can go ahead and have an experience and then buy an actual
can, like, buy a bowl of
ramen from Tokyo.
Yeah,
So.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So whatever you decide to do for travel in 2021, hopefully these tips can help you make the best decision about when and where to travel. Feel free to comment what you think it will be like down below. We'd love to hear what you guys think. And as always, if you like the information in this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos just like this one. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.